Today, I'll be reviewing nothing. Has anyone made that joke yet? Please forgive me for this breaking continuity because I kind of forgot to film this section. Which section, you may ask? Well, the section where I essentially flex. I predict that a lot of you may be coming in for the first time and asking yourself, well, who is this guy? What is his credentials? Who is he to tell me about how to feel about the nothing ears? So hello, my name is Crinacle. I run crinacle.com in ear fidelity, and I currently host and maintain the world's largest public database of headphone and earphone measurements. This time on 2 systems. On top of that, I also run a fairly extensive ranking list of IEMs and headphones. On IEMs, I have ranked over 1,000 individual models, and on the headphone side, a little over 200. But that's also not to say that you should completely trust me. I even made an entire video telling you the reasons why you shouldn't. So if you want to know about all of that, just click on this video somewhere up on the buttons over there and just listen. But at the end of the day, I would like to think myself as a fairly experienced veteran in the audiophile hobby, and so somewhat of a credible entity. Just like our sponsor, Linsoul.com. Yes, this is an ad read. Navigating the online chi-fi world can be a bit of a daunting process. After all, there are so many retailers, so many sellers, you're absolutely spoiled for choice, and to a point where you just simply don't know who to trust. Here, allow me to introduce you to Linsoul, one of the oldest players in the online chi-fi retail space. With an extensive catalog of headphones, IEMs, DACs, and amplifiers, you can be sure to get the absolute best bang for your buck out of their catalog. And even more than that, they ship virtually everywhere and for free. So what are you waiting for? Go to Linsoul.com, tell them I sent you, support the people who support me. And with all that out of the way, back to the actual review. In case you are living under a rock, Nothing is an electronics, smartphone, technology kind of brand. It was founded by Carl Pei being the co-founder, the ex-co-founder of the very popular OnePlus brand, a brand now apparently who is in complete shambles. Nowadays, Nothing would be more known for their Nothing phones, but they actually started out life in their audio division, starting out with the Nothing Ear 1 brand of TWSs, followed by the Nothing Ear Stick, and then the Nothing Ear 2. And naturally, with any kind of very hyped up audio products, a lot of people will be asking me, Corinne, what do you think about blah, blah, blah? What do you think about blah, blah, blah? And yes, relax. I finally got the new Nothing things on hand right now. And I'll tell you how I think about them, I guess. This is the Nothing Ear 1. Now, some of you may remember that I was actually talking about this way back when on my old channel. I was talking about, some people who were trying to show this on TikTok. They're calling it the best thing ever, how it beat the AirPods and the AirPods Pros. And then I called them out about not actually having the product on hand before actually trying to show them. For the longest time, I have not heard the Nothing Ear 1. Now I finally do, but my friend DMS, he actually tried out the Nothing Ear once, way back when, and he himself confirmed that it was absolutely terrible. It was absolutely dog shit. I, of course, couldn't really confirm that, but now I finally have, and yeah, it's terrible. I mean, here's the thing. DMS had measured it first. While I'm not the kind of guy who would try and judge things from a graph, it was not the nicest looking one. So now that I've tried it out, I've also graphed it. Here are the measurements. Yes, you can tell it is absolutely dog. And the measurements didn't change even after I've updated it to the latest firmware. So essentially the Nothing Ear 1, whether from day 1 all the way to today, you're gonna get the exact same sound. Again, dog shit. And yes, I know people are gonna ask me, Corinne, could you elaborate why exactly it is dog water? Well, the Nothing Ear 1 is weirdly tuned, and weirdly tuned is kind of an understatement. You have kind of a weird bump in the lower mid-range which makes things sound muddy, but at the same time you have a really big upper mid-range spike, but it all kind of forms together into one big roller coaster, so it sounds subsequently muddy and shouty and weird and just in general, I'm not gonna recommend this to anyone, no matter how much you get it for. $50? Too bad, throw into the garbage. ANC wise, it's like, all right. I don't think it's gonna play in the same league as things like the Apple AirPods Pro 2 or the Galaxy Buds 2 Pro. But at the same time, those two products are much newer and of course, 2.5 times to about twice the price. Features-wise, it pairs fairly well with an Android phone. I don't think there is any weird oddities from the very, very short time I've been testing it. Again, it's terrible. I don't want to test it for too long. So to everyone who has been asking me for my final conclusion about the Nothing Ear 1s, don't get it. It's old and at the same time, it's bad. So no. After the Nothing Ear 1s though, there is the Nothing Sticks, which I also got for review, but unfortunately those are earbuds and I will not support them in any way. So instead, let's just move on to the next step in Nothing's audio line of products, the Nothing Ear 2. So with the disastrous opening that is the Nothing Ear 1, you would think that the Nothing Ear 2 would be equally disastrous. But what is the interesting thing here is DMS, my boy DMS, actually aided, consulted on the tuning of the Nothing Ear 2, which gives me some level of confidence. But there is a slight hiccup in all of this. If you were to take this out of the box, or if you were to purchase this day one, the tuning on the Nothing Ear 2 is still kind of dog. It is rather bass boosted. That's kind of an understatement. It is very, very shouty and overall just sounds not very good. It sounds kind of mainstream, but at the same time, it's still very, very V-shaped to the point where if you're someone who cares a bit about fidelity, can't really recommend this. But that's it. That is pre-update. What I have heard from my boy, again, talking about how he consulted on this, is apparently what Nothing did was they started out with a compensated graph, compensated to Harman. So they started out, they got it at a flat line, and then on top of that, they tuned that flat line to Harman. So essentially what this was at the very start was Harman squared. Fire your engineers. Anyways, with the whole fiasco gone, I think they kind of did a reshuffle of all of the who did the tunings on all of this. With the new update, the Nothing Ear 2 now becomes pretty all right. I struggle to use the word good. It is serviceable. It is undoubtedly a better tuning. They've kind of followed Harman Target, at the same time reducing that pinna gain, which is, a tuning after my own heart. But then we come into a different issue, is that when I listen to the Nothing Ear 2, there is this weird sensation of BA timbre, if it makes sense. For example, there's a very similar TWS that has this problem, which is the Galaxy Buds Plus. Things sounded very bit crushed, things sounded quite plasticky. And the same feeling doesn't really go away with the Nothing Ear 2 even after the update. Things just sound fairly artificial. The tuning wise, it is great, but I don't know what exactly is interfering with the sound quality of the Nothing Ear 2. So while the tuning may be good, I'm just reporting to you what I've observed. It sounds weird, it sounds plasticky, it sounds unnatural, and overall, while it may not be my first pick, it might not be my second pick, or my third pick, or my fourth pick. I guess if you bought one, I wouldn't be too offended by it. Other features such as ANC, pairability, UI, at least for an Android phone, which is something I'm using, is all right. I think it's fairly fast, fairly fluid, fairly intuitive. It's not going to be as good as, let's say, using a Samsung Galaxy on a Samsung phone or an Apple AirPods on an iPhone, but everything all works. I don't think I've encountered a glitch just yet, but that's like kind of a touch wood situation right here. Overall, from an audiophile's perspective, I think I made myself very clear. The Nothing Ear 1 is terrible. Do not get it if you're someone who even cares remotely about sound quality. The Nothing Ear 2, on the other hand, while I very much appreciate the advancements and improvements that they have made relative to the Nothing Ear 1, at the $150 price bracket, it is leaving itself up to a lot of very strong competition. Here are the ranks for the Nothing Ears. I've not really thought about it too much, but eventually my editor is gonna put it out there. So to me, Here you go. But I would like to leave things on a high note. While I am very much a critic and would have to nitpick the very, very small bad things that I see in a product, I'm also someone who likes to recognize the improvements, the efforts that go into making a better product. So relative to the Ear 1, the Ear 2 is definitely a massive, massive step up. And so I hope that when Nothing eventually releases their new Nothing Ear 3, we might actually see a fairly good competitor in the space. As for now, good effort, not quite enough. And now it's time for me to thank my big money boys here. All of your names, you've subscribed to the $20 tier on my Patreon. And for those subscribed to my $30 tier, allow me to speak out your beautiful names. Dennis McMadface, crinacle, Alicia Burrito, Frit, Andrew, Posy Chronic, Pit Vanderwit, Amber, Jermaine, Prenut Butter, Drazar, 404 user not found, and Seraphim. Thank you all. A quick side note, Nothing, if you need any additional consultation, feel free to just email me. I would like additional money. And with that bombshell, I will see you guys next week, and don't die. Fuck off.